Weird science
is the revolution.
Deadpool Wolverine, World War III, #1, written by Joe Kelly, Adam Kubert on art, Frank Martin on colors, VC's Joe Sabino on letters. There's a thing in this. I'm not sure if it's because of our review copies, or if it's something, but the way that it was presented to us, these pages that begin it are full pages, but they're only one page vertical, and it's the most annoying thing if you have a tablet. I'm telling you, it was so annoying.
I couldn't figure out how to manipulate it to see it properly.
It's I had to lock my screen.
Yeah, I don't like the lock.
And it's basically Wolverine going around doing things. I don't know. I'm almost ready to throw my hands up and call it a week. I mean, this book, after the blood, at least I understood Blood Hunt. You know, I knew what was going on. I just think it wasn't for me. I get into this book and I was excited because it is just a Wolverine Deadpool book. You don't have to do anything with it except have some fun, have some gore, have some good art, which there's great art in this. And most of my score will be art. But you ended up reading it. You sent me a message and said, I don't know what happened in this book. And I thought, well, I'm going to crack the code. I'm going to tell you exactly.
Yeah, I figured you could crack it and let me know.
I'm going to read it and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to blow your mind when we get on. And I read it and wrote back to you, I don't know what the hell I just read. I mean, I really don't. I don't know what the story is in this. You still can have fun with it, with the various onomatopoeia, the crazy kills, the great art, and not much more, because you end up having a story where I'm going to try to glean the story where Deadpool, he is trying to take out a bounty on a serial killer, which also Wolverine gets involved with. They're in Canada. You get a bunch of Tim Horton jokes.
Oh, man, a lot of them.
They show up to fight this serial killer together, but the serial killer, at points I was thinking that it was somebody we should know. Then I thought it wasn't. Then I was yelling, what are you yelling about your summer?
Why is he saying, I want my summer? I think once I read that.
Summer too. Right?
I read that. I'm like, I'm checked out. I don't know what this guy's doing.
Thing. He's yelling it because he's in like Moose Jaw, Canada. They ain't got no summer. It's one of those. It's cold out.
Where Rocky lives.
Yeah. So you end up where even then at one point you have Deadpool and they seemingly are floating in the air because possibly this guy's powers, but he's a serial killer. But then everything's falling apart. And then Wolverine kind of jumps in, but he gets blasted by this purple lightning of stuff, but that doesn't do anything. And then you have, the one page where you have pretty much a double page deal, and it's Wolverine
it's amazing.
Going at this guy with Deadpool throwing knives and shooting. Is one of the best panels that I've seen in a while.
It really is some of the best art I've seen all year.
Good. It's great. And
it's awesome.
Why is this? I guess it's what now. Again, a lot of people, they like Joe Kelly. Me and you got into fights with a lot of people, and I actually remember one of the guys just ripped us apart because of that nonstop Spider-Man that was such garbage. That book where it was like every concept changed within pages. Where it's there's a drug targeting minorities, but then the two people we saw dead were white, and then you did this, and then you did, and everything got swirled around in that play of really bad reference. It was so bad.
Isn't that what this is then? Nonstop Wolverine and Deadpool?
That's what I'm thinking. The thing is, then you had that Savage one when he turned into an actual spider. This feels like it should just be called Nonstop Wolverine and Spider-Man, or Spider-Man Deadpool.
Yeah.
That's all. That's
all it is.
Going. There's no not even time to get a breath. There's no time to even understand the story, and I don't think Joe Kelly cares. He's just going to have quips. He's going to have things, and you can tell there's something there. I just don't know what it is, because they end up then slicing this guy up.
Diabolical double dissection, dude. He goes down pretty hard. They slice him pretty good.
Yeah, they slice him pretty good at the point. You also have like chicken fight Deadpool. Like everything looks great, but they end up slicing this guy, who then says, "These wasted gifts, I use them, but I wasn't real either." And then falls into like 7 parts. And I'm like, that's the opening, like cold open. That is frigid. That's why he's yelling, "I need summer." because you got to heat shit up here.
I mean, they're words. I see them, but I don't understand them.
I did not know what's going on. And please, I don't consider us the smartest of fellows. We usually can get an idea. I had no idea. Every word that was added to this, it got worse and worse. Like I was drowning in word bubbles because I didn't understand any of them. So then they get done, and later they're like, "Hey, drinks at my place. It's it's above the Slim Norton's and a Sky B&B. It smells like diabetes and desperation." And then he goes off. Wolverine then ends up getting his own drink, and then decides that he needs to go see Deadpool, but it's above a Slim Norton's, the Tim Norton's deal. And the joke is there's 8 million of those. So he says, is there a Slim Norton's near? Oh, yeah, only about every 10 feet.
When
he
true.
calls Wolverine a tourist, Wolverine should have went schnick right up in that guy's face. Like, why would this guy? So then you even have a thing going through this idea of, I have a phone, but it only gets called with this. Then he ends up finding Wolverine or Deadpool's phone. He finally finds his apartment, but then finds a phone that was a burner phone, but it wasn't burned and it was thrown away. He ends up, I think it was Forge, ends up breaking it. They end up tracking Deadpool to Russia.
Deadpool's at an Airbnb, but it looks like it's all tricked out with Deadpool stuff.
Thinking that all this is just bullshit. But you end up where he finds this phone. He's able to track the last call was to Russia. So Wolverine goes off to Russia. He goes into, like you said, now a castle that is this other place that he's gone to. He's booked this other place, and that's where it is tricked out as Deadpool. I don't get it. And then all of a sudden, Black Ops guys smash through the skyline to then, and I thought you meant the B&B, the first one in freaking New York. Now all of a sudden, cybernetic soldiers are fighting Wolverine. We don't know what's going on. They're there, and so then I'm not making this up. Wolverine then fights through these guys, cyborgs, whatever they may be. He ends up destroying them to then have an old guy show up,
Alter Cocker,
walk down the hallway with a cane and say, "This is for you. I love your performance. I always wanted to see you." I believe that Wolverine kills him.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he kills this poor old guy. And he gets an envelope that then might, I don't know.
It's like an invitation to somewhere.
Yeah, an invitation to another place that then Wolverine goes on his 3-wheeler eating donuts through Siberia, shows up at this place all beat up, and it looks like a big premiere. He goes in, he says to one lady who wants to, check him in or whatever, says, "You're going to be unemployed soon because I'm going to kill everybody." And then goes in and everybody's toasting him. And then he comes out, and then there's Deadpool in like a Weapon X weird.
I thought he looked like Ant-Man to me.
Yeah, he looks like Ant-Man, but I'm saying like the helmet.
Yeah, no.
But he seems to be controlled a bit, and now he's gonna fight Wolverine. Looks great. They're fighting. They're trash talking, and Deadpool's talking like a cybernetic deal of, at one point even says, almost like, "Help me, I do this thing," and I don't know.
Everybody's clapping and carrying on. They love it. They're wearing weird glasses.
Sport. They're wearing Jose Canseco glasses. They don't even know what's going on here. Yeah, they might be VR glasses. I don't know. They're all there, and it's all bloody.
Look at that last page, how amazing that is.
And the big thing is that at one point Deadpool said, once a villain, hero, X-Men, whatever, third time's a charm. And then at the end, there's the big thing. Can you explain this third time's a charm? I'm like, you're asking me. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But it looks great. It ends then with them like maybe, are they falling into a cavern? Or are they doing, I don't know. Something opens and it looks like they're falling down into an abyss. The end. Be continued, it says. I was so confused. If there's anybody that can make hide or hair of any of the story, please tell me. Now, I'm guessing that most people are going to tell me that it's not about the story. It's about just getting the action. It's about the fun. I can go with that. And I could actually say that the art elevates it immensely. It's such good art.
Yeah.
But I need some story. There's always the talk of, do you need a good story or good art? Well, obviously you want both. But this just like I read it. I don't know why I even bothered with the words. I really don't. I
mean, the way you just described it was all the action points.
And I don't even know if we were right. I think that I don't know what happened in between things and what is going on and the Tim Horton jokes. Hey, guys, and I'll tell you, it's not overly jokey either. It's more violent than jokey. And at one point you got a pouch joke, a little foot joke. But I don't know what happened from that serial killer beginning to then
that
go
really threw
to
it off
Russia and then have this eyes wide shut Court of the Owls nonsense. I don't know. It's like this big court of nonsense and turning the pages all over the place. Nonstop annoying. That's what it was. But what would you give it?
All right. So seeing Adam Kubert pop up is always a treat. I think he doesn't do enough interiors, and when he does do them, they usually are really good. And then Frank Martin is also the great colorist to partner with. But I would give it a 10 out of 10 for art.
Yeah. Art, it's a perfect score.
Perfect 10. You can't get better than this. You really can't. I can't stress that enough.
We don't rate the things of 5 for art, 5 for deal. We kind of get an idea in our mind and then give a score that's kind of a gut feeling score.
10 out of 10 for art, but overall I'm giving this thing a 5. So you do the math there.
Yeah. And that's the thing.
I don't know what happened.
The story is so non-existent that it even, I'm telling you, at one point I'm looking at that one panel. Also, they get the perspective of Wolverine. He's a little guy.
Oh, he's real short, like 5 feet or less.
This old man walking down the hallway, even seeing it from the perspective of kind of right behind Wolverine's fist.
Yeah, he's dripping blood.
And the dripping blood off of those claws as you see the guy coming out, it's incredible. And he's clapping.
Yeah, the perspectives and everything are great.
I just want, I have a feeling that some people are like, oh, this guy, just the scene. He comes out and he says, oh my God, have you ever been to the Bolshoi? Mr. Logan saying he's almost like a ballet dancer the way he kills. And he's like, club-footed miscreants compared to you. Your performance exceeded expectations. Performance? What else one call art in motion? And then he kills him. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
I mean, you gotta kill him. He's talking about
I guess.
He's talking about ballet.
He's just an old guy with his cane. Like, it's so crazy. Well, and
5,
then, and at that point, Wolverine's yelling, what game is Deadpool playing? At that point, I think I thought, like, is he playing?
Deadpool's not playing anything. He's being controlled. He's good. Yeah, the art is
it's great.
It's wasted. I hate to use that word, but it really is on this. It really is.
Oh God, I'd love to ask Joe Kelly what he was on when he did this, and actually, I'd like to ask him so I could tell him never to do it again when he's writing.
I mean, the title is World War III, whatever that means. Will we find out?
Who knows? I'm sure that's just there because the 3 looks like Wolverine slashed the page. That's all it is. Yeah.
Weird science is the revolution.